What is up, Chocolatiers? Got Vin Diesel behind me. You know, it's we go way back, best friends. Hair's not done, still got to get dressed, but I decided I was going to make a more vlog type review for Cuckoo, because I am very excited for this film. I don't know if you guys have noticed, August is not releasing bangers. They decided that this was the new January this month. You know, last week, if you watched any of my reviews, I was very disappointed with Trap. I don't think it's an awful movie, but it was very disappointing. Let you down a lot. And then, you know, this week I haven't seen it yet, but I've been expecting it to not be that great. Borderlands and It Ends With Us. It Ends With Us, hit or miss. I'm like, all movies are my type of movies, so I'm hoping that I will enjoy that. But, you know, last week was the notorious Harold and the Purple Crayon, so we're batting 0-2 right now. So we're hoping to get that win in our belt this week. Hopefully Cuckoo will be good and dressed to impress. Hunter Schafer, I have faith in you. Really love you for you. And yeah, with that, let's get right into it. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Cuckoo trip. Cuckoo trip.
Cuckoo trip.
We're out here in the trenches today watching Cuckoo. Say the trenches because I keep forgetting that It Ends With Us came out. Look at this fucking parking lot on a Thursday night. It's not even 7. Nope. God damn. It's gonna be crazy. Hey, but we're hyped for Cuckoo though, ain't that right?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Cuckoo sweep. I swear if it's awful, August has already let me down. Please be good, I'm begging you. Kendrick Lamar. Well.
Where's the magic at?
You're on black.com, sir. So why are you? It's what a time.
Should have got a smaller one.
What is up, Chocolatiers? Just got back from watching Cuckoo, as you guys saw. If you guys like those type of videos, hit that like and subscribe button. I hope that you guys do figure out to do a new format, especially for these type of movies where it's kind of a one and done, where I'm not doing a double feature like I am tomorrow with Borderlands and It Ends With Us. Pray for me, please. So, Cuckoo, the horror film that's been catching everybody astray, starring Hunter Schafer. Now, I say it's catching everybody straight because if you haven't been in the movie news wind, I'm pretty sure they announced this movie like 2 years ago. They had a cool looking still, and we didn't hear anything about it last year. I kept hitting me. I was like, is this movie like coming out this fall? And like, it just never did. But here we are, August 2024, and it's released. And I can say that it's pretty great. Definitely a nice surprise since August decided that it's going to be the new January. They're going to drop all their crap. So we've got Harold and the Purple Crayon, Trap. Trap isn't crap, but Trap is close. Trap is mid, okay? I don't have any high hopes for Borderlands. Afraid, I hope it surprises me. Doesn't have any high hopes for that. And this is also the same month where we're getting The Crow, which I'm excited for. I know a lot of people aren't, but I'm hoping. It's just one of those things where you can only keep hoping so much. This seems to be kind of the crappy month, unfortunately. Originally went to May, or I guess April, for me at least. But Cuckoo is awesome. Cuckoo is, like I said, starring Hunter Schafer, has Dan Stevens up in it, a bunch of other actors that you might know. Basically, without getting the spoilers, Hunter Schafer's character goes and lives with her father. Her mother is recently deceased, and she goes and lives with her father at this resort because her father and her new stepmom are supposed to be building a new resort for Dan Stevens. And while she's here, one night while she's working at the front desk at the resort that is already built, because she gets a job there that Dan Stevens gives her, he keeps repeatedly telling her, hey, do not go outside after 10 o'clock. And she does anyway. She rides her bike, and that's where you get the scene from the trailer where she gets chased by a mysterious woman. And that's where I will cut it. That is like probably the first 10 minutes or so of that movie. And after that is a wild ride. So I just want to say this. I'm glad that we're getting back. I almost said I'm glad that we're glad. I'm glad that we're getting back to the creature feature type movie. It's been a long time coming. When we get horror nowadays, we've been getting like ghosts or like, for some weird reason this year, the main thing has been demonic possession and like Satan, and because like Immaculate, you got the prequel, what's it called, the First Omen. Like, we're getting films like that, like Long Legs, like it's all dealing with like the devil. Maxine even touches on that, and it was just good to see, hey, we're not doing that same trope. We're doing something different, and I was really liking that. This movie isn't necessarily like a gore fest like I thought it was going to be from watching the trailer. It's more of like, kind of like a piece in a way, almost like a period piece, but it's really, it is and it isn't. There's some old tech in this movie, and it seems like it takes place in a certain time period, but they don't really tell you when, so it's kind of like one of those things where like, could be late 70s, could be 80s, never know. But it's just the way this movie is shot that I love. Like, it feels like this movie came out like in the late 90s, but it feels like it was filmed in like the 80s. And I was really liking the cinematography for that film. Hunter Schafer does such an amazing job as the main character, Gretchen. Just the things that Gretchen has to go through in this film, whether that be gross, nasty, or just downright terrifying for somebody, it's amazing. A great performance from Hunter Schafer. Now, Dan Stevens still in the show like he always do. That's my boy. That's my boy from The Guest. Yes, sir. That's my boy. Dan Stevens, if he's in a project, I like it. Okay, full bias. Just want you to know that going into this. So if you don't trust my review right now, that's okay. I wouldn't either. Dan Stevens is awesome. When he's on screen, he's a fucking presence. This man just comes in and steals the show. I actually saw a clip today where somebody was talking about how he did an accent in another movie. I think it came out this year. Oh yeah, in Abigail. But then he kind of loses it, and I never really noticed that. That's what I mean, the bias. But in this movie, I was listening. I said, let me listen. He keeps a German accent in this movie, and he keeps it the whole time. And just the way that he's like, kind of like this, I don't know, like he plays this part so well, because he's like very welcoming, very friendly, but also like, oh, I'm definitely potentially hiding something. You can't really trust me, but then you can kind of trust me. And I really liked that, because as a movie, when you have a scene like this, especially on a first viewing, you don't know what to think, especially when you have all these outside factors. Like, you get the blonde woman, you've got, a cop that gets into the mix, you've got all this stuff that goes into the mix. And so it's nice to be like, hey, I'm kind of on my toes like Gretchen is, because should I trust this guy, should I not? He says weird things, like in the trailer, she's like, that's a weird way to put it. But, in some points you're like, okay, well, maybe he's, and I like that. I like how, as an audience, you don't know who to really trust. This movie, kind of took me aback a little bit in the third act, because I really enjoy the third act, but there is something that happens to two characters, and I don't really elaborate what happens to them. And it's nothing spoilery like that. But just two characters just kind of leave, and then they are never showed again. And I'm just kind of like, I kind of would have liked to know that. Now, Jessica Henwick, I think her last name Henwick, she's in this movie, Colleen Wig from Iron Fist, and she's good in the movie, but I feel like miscast. I feel like they kind of want to add another decent name. I'm not going to say big name, but they just kind of like, let's get a star. But in this movie, I feel like the part that she plays, they could have got anybody, if I'm being honest. They pretty much just wasted her. I feel like you got Jessica Henwick to sit here and kind of just shout one time and then cry, and I don't think she does anything else in this movie. But my standout, like I said before, is still Hunter Schafer, because it's just crazy, because you see this range from a lot of people leaving Euphoria, like Sydney Sweeney, which even like that, Sydney Sweeney, kind of proved herself with Immaculate this year, that she can play in serious roles, which I really liked from her a lot. Big fan, Sydney. Yeah, that's right, hit me up, girl. But but like, we already know Zendaya's acting chops. Jacob Elordi, he was in Priscilla last year, and he did a really good job in that. So I really like that the Euphoria cast can come out, branch out, do other things that are like really, really good, like this movie. Now, I want to touch on my final thing, the horror aspect of this movie. Now, horror, like I always say in every horror movie review, is subjective. I think the scariest movie I have seen this year, just because based on shock factor and just kind of creepiness, is still Oddity. Oddity, I'm still thinking about scenes today. Like I'm talking about now, I'm like, ooh, it kind of creeped me out. Longlegs has some scary scenes, but I don't think that movie's scary. And, Blumhouse movies just kind of let me down like always. Imaginary's kind of crap, whatever. This movie, I feel like, will more gross you out than actually scare you. The creature designs in this movie are kind of scary / creepy, and there's definitely some scary scenes, but I would classify this more as like a horror / thriller mystery. More emphasis on the thriller. Because, you kind of get a sci-fi element into play with the creature feature, what I like to call it. But it's not really scary, or at least it wasn't for me. Like, I'm not sitting over here going, oh my god, whatever. But there definitely is some scares to be had. There's definitely some fun to be had. I think that this weekend, / going forward in this week, because August seems to kind of suck for movie releases. If you were on the fence about It Ends With Us, if you ain't got no woman to take to that movie, if you were happy about Borderlands and you saw the reviews, or if you saw Borderlands and you were upset, if you saw Trap last week, or if you're thinking about seeing any of those movies, I would say that Cuckoo is the best movie that's came out in August, almost in April, in August so far. I really think that if you are a fan of Dan Stevens, Hunter Schafer, Jessica Henwick, if you're a fan of all these people in a movie together in a creature feature, I think that this is definitely the movie to go see. Like I said, if you have one or two choices for August, I would definitely put this at the top of your list, especially if your theater is showing it. And so with that, please like and subscribe for more. And I guess I will say this. I forgot my score. I'm going to give Cuckoo a, let's see. On the way home, I was at the 9 range. I thought about some stuff. I said, this ain't no 10. It ain't 10. I was like, I'm kind of at the 9 range, though. But there's a few things in this movie I'm kind of, wish I'd have tweaked that. Wish this would have been like that. I think Cuckoo is getting an 8.5 from me. That is a strong score. That is a score that I do not see changing lower. I think this is the perfect score for this movie, just because it does all the right things. But without getting the scores, I can't really tell you some things that I had minor complaints about. And when I say they're minor, they really are minor. I don't like doing the point crap where I go 8.8, 8.9, but if we were doing that, basically 8.9, I think it's damn near like a 9. It's just that it's not, for my personal reasons. But yeah, outside of that, though, this movie is a solid film. It's a banger. It's fucking better than Trap and Harold and the Purple Crayon. So if for some reason this week you're like, oh, fucking watch Harold, go watch Cuckoo. Please stop yourself. Please stop yourself. And with that, now we can like and subscribe for more. I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Family belongs here.
That's a fucking weird way to put it.
I love my popcorn. Movies, popcorn.